Well, good afternoon, everybody. Just do this. Let me make sure everything's working as it should do. I think everything's working fine. Yeah, good. Apologies for the April Fool earlier. Me and T1. T1 commented, or back in January, it was early January, in a comment, I must have included some reference to the Bible and mentioned that this, this was a Bible study group, and so it gave me the idea to do the Bible study with T1 and Wizard and Alice. I haven't actually spoken to Alice about it yet, so I hope she's not too annoyed at me. But certainly, the Wizard was thought it was quite funny. The Bible study thing for April Fool's Day. Been busy chatting with the HOD this morning to do with getting things prepared for the end of this month, the 25th, when we do our Keep Talking Till They're Walking. Not going to keep you very long. I've got the document here. It's not earth-shattering. It's exactly what you would expect from the so-called, what's it called, the Directorate for Justice. I'll share it and you can have a look yourself, see what you think. So, make sure it's coming up all right. Yeah, looking good. So, Directorate for Justice, D-Just, Criminal Justice, Scottish Government. Okie dokie. Let's come on down. So, I'm on live, so yeah, fine, come on in. Oh, here's the laundry lady arrived. So yes, I better allow her into the studio. Could you just wait a couple of minutes to turn it on though, and I'll turn it on when I've finished, okay? Thank you. Because it does make a lot of noise. Probably better noise than what I make. But as I say, let me carry on and read this letter. I am live at the moment. Okay, so appropriate enough, April the 1st, April Fool's Day. Dear Mr. Capaldi, thank you for your email regarding the Luke Mitchell case. Your email has been passed to the Criminal Justice Division, and I have been asked to reply. It is important that I advise you there are certain things that the Scottish ministers are unable to comment or intervene in, and this includes judicial and sentencing decisions in individual cases, which are matters for our independent courts. This is to preserve the operational independence of our criminal justice system and to keep it free from political interference. That is why Section 1 of the Judiciary and Courts Scotland Act 2008 provides that Scottish ministers must not seek to influence judicial decisions. Therefore, I hope you will understand why the Scottish ministers cannot offer a specific view on individual judicial decisions, nor can they instruct a review of a case. Well, I don't think that's quite true. I think ministers can get together if they want, and they can set up a committee to look at, because that's what Christine Graham said. She said that if re-elected, she would have to look at what cases, if you like, she wanted to look at, what she wanted to do. However, anyone who believes that they have suffered a miscarriage of justice can seek to appeal their conviction and or sentence. I understand that in the past, Mr. Mitchell has lodged appeals in respect of both his conviction and sentence, and these have been refused by the appeal court. If, having exhausted the appeals process, a person can apply to the Scottish Criminal Cases Review Commission. My goodness, have we heard a lot about them recently? To have their case reviewed. Upon receipt of an application, the SCCRC will consider whether it is in the interests of justice to accept the application for review. If an application is accepted, the Commission will examine the issues raised in the case to determine whether a miscarriage of justice may have occurred. and if it is in the interest of justice to refer the case to the High Court. The effect of referring a case is that a fresh appeal will then be considered by the High Court under normal appeals procedure. It is then for High Court to determine whether the appeal is upheld or refused. In light of the operational independence of the SCCRC, the Scottish ministers cannot instruct the SRCC to review a case, nor can it support an application to the SCCRC. St Andrew's House, Regent Road, Edinburgh. I understand that Mr. Mitchell has previously applied to the SCCRC to have his case reviewed, and his application was refused. It might be helpful to explain in general terms Mr. Mitchell can submit a further application to the SCCRC. Well, he's tried that 4 times, but they're not looking to really look at the background of this case, which is what I think the problem is. If he believes there is new evidence or new grounds which support his application for a further review, well, I think there's as Sandra Lane has said, there's a lot of people that have come forward now that weren't interviewed back then. Statements weren't taken. But anyway, Mr. Mitchell may wish to seek independent legal advice on his options, which remain open to him. So not very informative. And for me, the big problem was that, yes, Luke Mitchell went to court. Oh, hi, Alice. Hope you didn't mind me suggesting Bible studies with T1 and Wizard. Just a bit of an April Fool's Day for one or two people. For me, the big problem in this case is the fact that Luke Mitchell, like Stephen Avery, like Brendan Dassey, should never have been in court in the first place. When you consider the amount of media attention that was put into that case, all 3 cases, how on earth are you going to have a fair trial? And as I say, in Steve, Brendan, and Luke's case, there should never have been a trial in the first place. To get a conviction when the forensic scientists from the Forensic Institute are saying the forensics don't fit. There is no way that Luke Mitchell was found guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. That's the problem. Throw it out and start over. They've got to. We've seen the effect of the media in both cases, all 3 cases. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get back to them and say, look, that's all very well and good that you've got these procedures in place, but how do you address the fact that Luke never got a fair trial in the first place? All you're doing is rubber stamping a mistake that was made, and not even considering as I say, the problems way back in 03, 04, 05. The fact that we've now got that, as some of you seen that clip from an article with the news reporter saying that a high-ranking police official got in touch and said, quite bizarrely, we know that he's guilty, even before trial. And it's the only time he's ever had a high-ranking policeman get in touch with him to plead with him to say, could you toe the line with all the other reporters and put out negative stuff about Luke Mitchell because he's absolutely guilty. Is that a fair way of doing it? Of reporting, of being a journalist? Absolutely not. The suggestion that police should be getting in touch with reporters to try and cajole them into parroting the narrative that they want. No, absolutely wrong. Anyway, I just wanted to share that email with you. And as I say, I'll get back to what was the name of the person? I don't think I read the name out. Let me correct that now. Yours sincerely. Oh, Ronnie Fraser, Crimgus, Criminal Law Practice and Licensing Unit. St Andrew's House, Regent Road, Edinburgh. Okay. But at least they got back. At least they got back. Whilst there are similarities, absolutely, I feel, between the Steve Brendan and Luke Mitchell. For me, I think it was the pressure put on the police right from the word go. I mean, what would be the advantage of, it wasn't like they had to frame Luke like they had to frame Stephen Avery to save millions of dollars and untold damage through embarrassment. Anyway, I say that's enough of me havering on. Catch you all again soon. Take care. Bye for now.